You guys ever just Googled fertilizer, like how to buy it, where to buy it? I mean, there's so many companies out there now that are offering fertilizer, and how do you even go about choosing one? They have synthetic ones or organic, soil treatments, microbiomes in your soil, liquid, granular, plus iron, hose end sprayers, slow release, fast release, safe around your kids, you name it, they got it. How do you make those choices? Let's talk about it. What's up, you beautiful people? Welcome back. Let's just face it, let's put it all out in the open. Scott's, it owns the DIYer who goes to Home Depot 6 times a day and oh yeah, that's right, I need a bag of fertilizer, goes to the fertilizer section. It's just Scott's.
We're gonna go to Home Depot.
Well, what kind of name is Scott's anyways? Just a group of guys just sitting around and they're like thinking about ideas as they mow lawns. We should start selling fertilizer to every Home Depot and Lowe's in the country. Oh, good idea, Scott. Just because Scott's owns all the shelves in the garden department of Home Depot, does it mean it's the cheapest, best to use, or the easiest to use? Let's get into it. Also, at the end, stick around for the end, I'm gonna give you my top 4 fertilizers to use this year. Just so everybody knows, I still use Scott's. It's not like I'm trying to badmouth Scott's or anything. Scott has nothing to do with this. All right, first, let's talk about how do you go about choosing the right fertilizer for your lawn?
There can be only one.
Well, if you watched my last video, I did a soil test and it has recommendations what is the best fertilizer to use for your soil, because that's how you choose a fertilizer. Is you take a soil test, you see where your levels are of your NPK and your pH and your iron and calcium, everything, and then you base your fertilizer purchases off of that. That's simple.
It's so simple.
Another great question is how often you should be applying fertilizer. A good rule of thumb is that holiday schedule. Holiday meaning you throw fertilizer down on the holidays. Easter, Memorial Day. Then you got the 4th of July. Let's see, Easter. And then you finish it off with Labor Day. That's 4 good things to remember when to throw down fertilizer. There's also 2 different styles of fertilizer to use, right? You got your granular, Scott's, right? Milorganite, that sort of thing is that Dippin' Dots style. You need a spreader to spread it, and it's either fast or slow release, but it dissolves into your soil and then it feeds your roots. Very simple. The other way is a liquid. A liquid fertilizer is your hose end sprayer, or something that you need to measure out, a liquid that you need to measure out and then put into a backpack sprayer, and then you spray it on your lawn. It takes a little bit more time and energy, a little bit more equipment, that sort of thing, but it's instant. Since it's a liquid, it gets directly into your root system, right into the soil, and there's a lot more variations of fertilizers you can use for that liquid application. As far as like the simplest fertilizer to use has got to be the hose end sprayers. Every homeowner has a hose. It like comes with the house when you buy a house, right? So how easy it is to just hook this up to a hose and then you just stand out there and you water your lawn, and that's like a guy's dream. And there's so many companies out there now that make the hose end sprayers, and if you find a good hose end sprayer that you like, you can get subscriptions to that company and they deliver them monthly. It's very simple. Now, if you want to talk about the cheapest way to do it, is to go to your local truck stop and buy a gallon of DEF. It's 100% urea, so it's nitrogen. They're like 10 bucks for 2 gallons. It'll last you all year and you get unlimited nitrogen. That's the cheapest way to do it. Is that the right way to do it? No, probably not. Along with DEF, your cheapest fertilizer you're gonna find is the one that's on sale. That's as cheap as it gets. I found this bag for $2 at Lowe's at the end of the year. So that's always a good tip too, is at the end of the year, go to your hardware stores and your Home Depots, and you can find fertilizer that's on sale because they're getting rid of the fertilizer. Top 4 fertilizers, let's go. My number 4th best fertilizer to use this year is whatever's on sale. It's a little gimmicky, I guess. If you find a fertilizer that's on sale at your store, get it. lawn care for cheaper. So if you find something at your local hardware store or Home Depot that's been opened and it's got a sticker on it that says, 50% off, boom, done. Do it. Buy it. Sold. Number 3, I'm going with Yard Mastery. Anything from Yard Mastery, just across the board, number 3, because their granulars are awesome. They cover a lot of square feet if you got a bigger yard. If you buy their bigger bag, it covers 15,000 square feet, and you can use it if you have a 5,000 square foot lawn, that's 3 applications. I believe it's $40 for the bag. $13 per application. I love Yard Mastery, anything from Yard Mastery. I'm not even getting paid by Yard Mastery to say that, so we want to. My number 2 is a hose end sprayer. A company like Simple Lawn Solutions, Gnome is another one, as well as Sunday. It's a subscription that you can get, and it has hose end sprayers that get shipped to you. Who doesn't like to stand in their front yard and water the grass? That's so satisfying. Number 1, my number 1 favorite, and it's not a surprise because everyone's talking about it. Alan Hain has been promoting it for years, and I really think it does work. I've been using it for like 3 seasons now. I really think it works good. Milorganite. Honorable mentions though, I'm going with the Lawn Whisperer pack. The Midnight and the Dab and the Sanctuary together, and that's all you need for your lawn. I love it. He did a really good job making these fertilizers. Fertilizers that I would love to try, that I haven't tried yet because I just buy, what's ever available or on sale. Pro-Pete would be one that I would love to try. I've heard really good things about Pro-Pete. To go along with that, the Andersons. Not you, Jake. The Andersons has a good fertilizer as well that I would love to try one day. Maybe I will this year. So what's the point? What's the point of all this? What's the point of this whole video? I don't know, actually. Buying the right fertilizer, buying the correct, the cheapest, the best fertilizer, all depends on a couple things. Your budget and how interested you are in lawn care just in general. If you want to be a scientist about it and you want to get down to the microbes inside each molecule of the soil, that's great. If you have that time and energy and money, I'm all for it. Or if you want to be a wing it, fling it guy, like me, just buy fertilizer, whatever one you like, and throw it down 4 times a year or more, and I'm sure your grass is going to grow great. It's pretty simple.
It's so simple.
And then you got to decide what's your preference. If you like granular or if you like liquid. Each has its own positives and negatives, so you just got to decide which one you like there too. Okay, so far this year, I've done my soil test, so I know what fertilizer my yard needs. Then I've explained to you what fertilizer I'm using / my favorite. My next video will be an overseed. So I know that you can see behind me the sore spots in my yard. What I need to do is I need to power rake this whole thing, maybe even aerate the whole thing, and I'm going to overseed and fill in these bare spots and get this lawn looking great. That will be my next video. As of right now, I'm just going to finish off the day. Hopefully the sun comes back out, but I'm going to be throwing down some Milorganite. Probably going to use a hose end sprayer. Hey babe, we go water the front yard for a couple hours. Like always, thanks for watching, and laters on the Menche.